Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Veriswap podcast. Today we have Gary on again. How's it going, Gary?
Hello. Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Saw you last week at the National. That was an exciting few days, and
Yep, first time in AC.
first time in Atlantic City. Hopefully not the last.
Yeah.
Little bit, little bit sketchy, but everyone is doing well. So that's
Yeah, no, I mean by
awesome.
the weekend it got cool. I think it was more like when it's there and then no one's there, it's kind of weird. But then when I think we're in the weekend when the people kind of it's like all the casinos are pretty lively.
Yeah, casinos are pretty lively. A lot of people gambling, drinking, trading in the hallway between the Bally's and the Claridge Hotel. Every night between like 2 to 3 a.m., I would see people just stack up the hallways. So
Yeah.
definitely cool to see. Well, today we're going to be reviewing the Goldin auctions that ended earlier this weekend. There were a lot of heavy hitter cards. But before we do that, Gary and I were talking right before the podcast. We were like, despite being on the show for so many times, he never actually got a proper introduction. So, for those of listeners who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was my bad. I think I do have a tendency to randomly show up to things and not mention who I am and just some rando that shows up to things. But yeah, so yeah, my name is Gary Mao. Currently I'm in the Bay Area where I kind of grew up. Right now I run a alternative asset fund that basically half invests in cards and half invests in blockchain projects. But then I've done everything from like large scale mining facilities to working in mobile gaming, but then cards, that's kind of my one true hobby, like the thing I've been doing since I entered the game, so to speak, in the perfect time in like 96, 97, like Kobe's year, Kobe, Iverson, LeBron, not LeBron, Marbury, and etc., Ray Allen. So, those are the guys that kind of got me hooked.
Yeah, Gary's been in the game for a long time. He knows a ton about the card space, both in and out. And he's definitely one of the most interesting people I know, and I know a lot of interesting people. So uh, cool to have you finally kind of give a little bit background about yourself. And for clarification, he does not work for Backyard Breaks, despite the T-shirt. So don't send him any hate messages after this video.
Backyard Break, send me hits if you get a logo, man. I'll take them off you.
Gary will snatch them all up.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's jump right into things then. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through some of the cards. Great. So this card ended on Saturday night. The 2020 Verstappen Superrefractor 1/1 auto. What are your thoughts, Gary?
Yeah. So this one, when I was at Nationals, right? Like I think this was as far as in like the F1, like what everyone was really talking about, like, oh, are you bidding on it? Are you bidding on it? And then we all kind of realized that like everyone who's kind of in F1, it was kind of looking at this one for sure. That being said, right? I mean, even it was kind of plastered on the big, like a poster on the big column at the Nationals, right? I think that it went around. If it went past this, I would be like, that's way overpaying. I think right now, at least for this current market, if like the Hamiltons go for 900, this one seems okay. Because even though he's extremely good, I think for F1 it seems like the verdict is still out yet. If pure winning is really the price driver, because obviously he's super excellent, but he doesn't yet have that kind of like Hollywood, like Hamilton, like in the headlines all the time, that the NBA really gets that formula right. If they choose a guy like a LeBron or a Jordan, they're not only extremely good, but they end up in popular, like kind of integrated into popular culture all the time. So this seems to be kind of like a bit of a middle ground. It's not quite the top, like, pushing that $1 million mark, but it's still significantly higher than other cards in this set.
Yeah, definitely a very strong price. It was a little bit higher than what I would have expected. I think I would have expected probably somewhere in the 400 range.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I definitely agree with you, Gary, on like the marketability of the driver, right? Like I think we talked about in person the national, like he wins a lot, but he kind of like the Kawhi of the sport, right? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't really have that extra personality off the court or off the racetrack, which is probably very very important in terms of like
Yeah.
cultural relevance.
Yeah, because it's like Leclerc is basically the inverse of this at the moment. He is kind of like this, like, well, number one, he drives for kind of the classic Ferrari team. He like they keep making these like videos of him like shirtless in Monaco or like partying and all that kind of stuff. So in a way, he kind of has that kind of romantic like that romantic image of an F1 driver. It's like almost like half James Bond, half athlete, you know what I mean? So I think there's a reason why, yeah, like even though I think Leclerc by far, he's kind of dropping the ball here and just like messing up left and right, or his team is, however you want to argue it. But his cards still hold pretty significant value, not as high as this, but still quite significant given the fact that he's not going to win. Or despite the fact he's not going to win the championship this year.
Yeah. I guess a lesson from F1, these F1 cards is look really good, be very marketable. Doesn't matter if you finish last as long as you're somewhere in that top 20.
Yep.
But here we go. The 1 of 1 Verstappen Superrefractor.
Yeah.
I also don't really understand why the auto is graded. I mean, I think it's borderline 9 to 10. But I think it probably would have, if I had gotten the card, I probably would have just removed the auto grade.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have hurt the value a little bit.
I feel like in the future, PSA should just cap the max score of autos to a 9 if it's a sticker.
Yeah. I agree. Why do you think it matters if it's a sticker or not a sticker, though?
I mean, this is kind of more of a purist opinion. I guess the hobby probably, I would guess does agree in the sense that if it's an on-card auto, I think it implies, right, that he was actually in the room with that card. So I think that back in the day, I forgot it's like Upper Deck or it was Tops, that on the back of the card, it always had the last sentence, like, we always strive to bring you closer to the game. Like a sticker is not close to anything. It's just like this dude that signed a bunch of any, like the card, like he might not even have ever seen the card that his sticker is on.
Right.
Like it's like I have this triple auto of Jay-Z and Adam Morrison and Dwayne Wade, and I'm pretty sure like the three of them are not aware of each other's existence or that they would be on the same card at any given time. So yeah, this is kind of like one of those things. Plus, like older Prism basketball, they used to sign on card, right?
Older Prism basketball. I believe it was always sticker.
Oh, it's always sticker. I feel like
I'm trying to think if 2012 was. I think 2012 is on card.
Yeah,
it might be.
But
anything 2013 and later is definitely a sticker.
Yeah, because I think that there are Chrome, because it's not like Chrome is unsignable, right, as a card stock. So it's clearly like a cost-cutting thing.
Yeah, I also feel like for like these like Grail cards, they should save the best stickers for the Grail cards. Like,
oh yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, this is not the prettiest auto, and I think it's a shame because like F1 drivers do. I mean, certainly, I guess I'm speaking for a very very low standard, which is basketball has horrendous autos right now. And yeah, especially a card like this, yeah, a nice auto definitely makes it very very beautiful. So things like Leclerc has a very kind of elaborate auto, and like his cards look very very nice when autoed.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next card. So let's see what we have next. All right.
Yeah,
we were talking about this on Saturday. What do you think?
I feel like in the long run this should be worth more. This is just my opinion. I feel like it's so clear, right, that Dynasty is very clearly the national treasures of I guess the Topps ecosystem. Plus, like, I'm sure when Fanatics takes over, things like that, they're going to try and bring over Topps Chrome, and that whole Topps ecosystem is going to run to the top, I would assume. And this one is about as good as you're going to get as far as a patch. I think we've talked about this before. Like, we kind of wish that it was tilted 90 degrees so you get the full Red Bull logo. because I don't really care so much of the BUL, but the bull would be sick if it was like, you know, the two bulls were fully in it. Plus it's a gem in 10. I think it's like always when it's like a 1/1 like this, it's it just as a card, it's like a piece. And I also think that this kind of fits with that whole like as you go up the higher end, like cleaner and classier seems to kind of win the day in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, this thing just looks expensive. If you had to have me guess, like I think it's to me crazy how the how the 1/1 did what 3 times the price of this, a little bit less than 3 times the price of this 1/1 Dynasty with an on-card auto and like a sick patch like that is crazy. Plus, is a great gem in 10.
Yes. So in like it's like it's like on every technical measure, it is better on paper.
Right.
Other than the fact that it doesn't have like a super refractory finish to it. But I think this was the better buy if I were to choose the two.
No doubt.
This one, I stopped at now I actually am talking about it, I feel great regret. I stopped at 140.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
There weren't
sorry, continue.
There weren't many bidders on this, which was kind of or there weren't many bidders towards the end, I should say that. By the post like 7, it didn't appear to be anyways.
Yeah, there were two bidders in extended bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember telling you, I was like, "Oh, I think this is a little bit expensive. You should stop bidding."
Yeah.
and then I guess you put the brakes on. I'm looking at the patch. I'm like, you know, what would be even cooler? I guess now we're just nitpicking, but like, if you took like the Red Bull logo from like his neck, tilted that like vertically, it would just.
Is that not what that is?
No, because like on top of like, you see how there's 2 logos on top of each other.
Yeah,
that one's a little bit smaller and there's no lettering.
Oh, you want the actual one at the top collar? Yeah, that would be dope. That'd basically be the logo, man.
That would be awesome.
Essentially.
But this is very, very strong.
Yeah.
Gary, do you know if there's other 1/1s of Max?
In Dynasty? So I don't think so, because I know for this year's the 2021, they actually had a specific insert called 1/1, like they doubled the patch window. It's still horizontal, but I don't think they had that in first year F1 Dynasty 2020. So I think this is the 1/1.
I see.
Oh well, there's other 1/1. Sorry, I think there's like the 1/1. You know, like the triple patch relic. There's like of the other variations, but I think this is the true one, right? It's like the single kind of vertical stripe window. I think people consider to be the true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the triple windows. This is definitely
no, and the patches are always trash, like super duper trash. It's like if you put 3 logos, like sponsor logos, that'd be kind of cool, but it's always three napkins.
Yeah, or it's like one really good one and like 2 napkins. I feel like that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Like it's like not balanced, right?
Definitely.
Cool. So Max 1/1.
Beautiful good buy. Congrats to whoever got that.
All right.
Questionable buy. So
very questionable. It is a beautiful card though.
It's nice. It's definitely clean. So of like the multi autos, like, well, yeah, I think the one that stands out to me, we talked about this, was that like the Kobe Bryant auto is pretty sick. It's pretty elaborate, and I don't see too many auto like that era of his auto. The Jordan one and the LeBron one seem kind of hasty, but I mean, yeah, it is super stuff. But I think the thing that just makes it like it's a bit questionable is because I just never see multi autos go for that. You know, it's definitely very way higher than I thought. If it went for a third of this price, I would have been like, oh, that's a good price for that.
About 100K. Yeah, I would have probably guessed like would have ended around 130 or maybe 150 most. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Kobe auto looks awesome. He usually doesn't sign the word Bryant, right? It's usually just the top part.
Yeah, it's usually Kobe and then a number or just Kobe by itself. Yeah, that kind of, especially like I think this kind of two-tier auto in a way. Like I've seen a lot where he signs just straight up across, like it just runs horizontal the whole way. but this kind of tiered one is kind of interesting and cool.
Yeah, this is definitely a beautiful auto. Yeah, but the Jordan one almost looks like a sticker. Like it seems a little bit cramped. Like usually for on-card autos, the M is like much more flowy. This looks like more like as if it were like confined to a sticker, but it's clearly not a sticker. Or else it wouldn't have ended at 300K.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I think the other reason I'm sure like that's kind of bolstering its price is because I guess the pack pulled odds of this. I mean, this would definitely be the chase card for SP Authentic in 08. So the odds were probably just far less. Whereas like I think that's where I think the hobby tends to not like the UD blacks, even though the blacks have like some of the most like sick kind of triple and quad autos there are, period. But I think the issue is that it's just the odds are more in your favor because UD Black as a product is inherently like it's like 1-in-1, right? Like or 1-in-1 that product where like or an NT where like you get patches or autos like in for every card in the box effectively, right? So whereas this one you could be ripping and just pull trash for the rest of your life and not see one of these.
Yeah. It's yeah, definitely very, very tough chase. I mean, there's 10 of them. I also just noticed like I think the numbers in the back are a really cool touch. You can see the 24, you can see the 23 and the 23.
Yeah.
There's like a compass in the back. Very interesting.
Yeah. It's good. It's good job on the graphic designer for this one.
Beautiful card.
Because I think it's tough to make those look beautiful too, because sometimes it's kind of a letdown when you just have 3 headshots. Like that's always been my issue where I don't have a solution of like triple logo mans, is that like you barely see the player and it's really just about the patch. But in this one, yeah, like I think they made it work with a lot of like the design elements and the little touches here and there. Like they put effort into it,
Yeah. They did what they could with the space, right? Like there's the Bulls logo, there's the coloring, purple, red. You can see parts of the jerseys. One thing that gets me is like I think it's cool how they use a photo of LeBron with headband.
Yeah.
Adds to the red.
Yeah.
I think
when he was ashamed of his hairline days. Yeah.
Now, I feel like if it's just a headshot, the card would be a lot less appealing.
Yes.
Because at that point, it's pretty much just an unlicensed product, right? Apart from the logos.
Oh, you're right. Yes. I agree. Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Oh, there, actually, you go back to the back. Now that thing I was mentioning, yeah, you can actually see it. It says, oh wait, no, it doesn't. Sorry, it's maybe not them about bringing you closer to the game. But I mean, this is a perfect example, right? Like sticker versus not sticker. Like it's interesting just to know or feel that each of those players were in the presence of this card at one point.
Right. Yeah. That's very, very cool. It also makes the condition probably more sensitive, right? Because it's being mailed around.
Oh, 100%. Like I'm sure you've seen those videos of like Kobe signing the Eminence cards. Like they literally slid the card across the table, right? And it was like, oh my gosh, so painful.
Very cool. Where do you think which Richard McWilliam is? Does he still work for Upper Deck?
I think he's still, like I mean, they kind of are, like very stalwart in refusing to sell, refusing to merge with anybody, and hoarding the exclusive rights to Jordan and LeBron autos.
When do you think? When does that contract end?
I
they don't have it forever, right?
I thought that would I think at some stage, LeBron is gonna end up a free agent, quote unquote, right, and end up going to Fanatics. I'm sure. I mean, Fanatics has I would imagine Fanatics is really the only company with the bank with the checkbook to maybe sign a Jordan and a LeBron. To like the next exclusive deal,
Yeah.
But that would be, oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Like, I mean, I would be so tripped out to see a new Jordan LeBron licensed product that's autographed. Awesome. That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
No stickers, on card only. All right. What do you think, Gary?
this is like what sets off my money laundering alert. It goes this high. So this is just insane. And it's like not even like if this was the one of one, I could be like, okay, that's very expensive, but okay, sure. But the it's not, yeah, there's nothing about this card that tells me, like, other than the fact that it's out of 5, and yes, people like the reds, but like that's a lot of money for somebody that is not necessarily guaranteed to blow the league away.
Is this guy in the majors? I don't follow baseball that closely.
I think
or is he still prospect?
He is in the majors, I believe.
That's crazy. I mean, for reference, like a Mike Trout orange does about, in BGS 9.5, does around 300.
Jeez.
So this is that's crazy.
It's like I feel like in the current hobby, it's like, yeah, people have, like, it felt like are really. It feels like since the days of the big run of, like, the bull run since 2018 of the card market, that people really, really are buying on future potential now.
Yep.
Like the value of, like, I guess they call it in the stock market, right, pricing to perfection.
Right.
Like yeah, the end price is always like, yeah, if it goes the most ideal way. And this feels to me to be kind of almost an example of that.
Yeah, in a bear case, I could see this card going down to 20K or even lower.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, this is very, very insane. All right. Any thoughts on this?
So we're talking about this, like, so for me, I guess I guess maybe I must be the minority here. I prefer the solid blue as the color match, but then this one, I guess it's still nice. I think appreciate the hobby for having a certain, like, eye appeal and taste, because yeah, like, clearly these have greater value than its numbering. You know what I mean? Like this is not the rarest. Like, there are parallels that are numbered lower but sell for less than Gem and 10.
Right.
And it's cool, yeah, that there are moments like this where they aren't just kind of dictated by a pure kind of quantitative, how rare is it, how numbered is it, right? Whereas, like, looking for the color match is kind of a big deal. So, I mean, I think you were telling me these usually were selling for much higher, right?
Yeah, at a point they were. This card would probably be like 130 to 150K in a PSA 10.
Yeah. So then, how much do you think the 77 out of 99 would be? Let's say if it were a Gem and
10. Right nowadays.
Yeah,
probably
like a jersey match, like, or yeah,
range of like
jersey number
60.
Probably
in the range of 60. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see that pushing. I could see that pushing nearly kind of 6 figures. I think in this case, it's like people have. Who do you think is people are more kind of on a relative basis sour on? Obviously, it's clear whose cards are more expensive, but are people more kind of bored of Luka, or are people more bored of Trey?
Oh, definitely Trey. Like, I feel like a lot of people just don't even collect Trae Young anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think in 2018 and 2019, it was always like, oh, either Luka or Trey.
Yeah.
Right. Now I feel like the divergence between, like, those two collectors has widened.
Yeah.
Beautiful card, 34K. All right.
Oof. Mahomes market is still healthy.
You think it's healthy? I probably would have guessed this card was way higher, actually.
Oh, really?
Like, much higher. Yeah.
What would you think it would be at?
Probably in the range of like 500 to 600.
Oof. I mean, it's a nice looking card for sure. I feel like people. I guess the other thing I remember hearing at the Nationals is people were almost like, I'm not saying this is like the case, but then people were, I feel like, kind of souring a bit on Mahomes because he had lost Tyreek Hill, and all the other teams in his division had gotten better, And so I think people were kind of talking themselves into this scenario that, his current window is maybe not now. Because you have like the Josh Allens of the world, the Herberts of the world that are kind of, it seems like the top collectible QBs would be right now who, like Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Brady.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, Brady. Actually, I would say like, yeah, probably like Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Brady in that order.
Yeah,
because like kind of like
and
going
then
on your point earlier, right? Like people really like predicting the future and like betting on hype, right? Brady
oh
has
yeah,
no
because
Brady's near the tail end of his career.
the DGen money is going into Trevor Lawrence right now.
Oh,
like
that's
I
true.
feel some like these like blowout like figures for his cards. It's like, geez.
Yeah, I actually just got a notification on my phone today, from the Alt app saying that they have a black finite Trevor Lawrence 1/1 for sale.
Oh man. And also, oh my gosh, now that I remember it too, like Mac Jones too. It
Mac
seems like
Jones.
everyone's showing off Mac Jones, and like maybe next like maybe next year at Nationals we can go see Mac Jones in the bargain bin. Like who knows? I mean, that's I guess the trouble with football. It seems like these things are, because now I feel like nobody talks about Lamar Jackson.
Right. Nobody. Like
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've seen this happen like so many times. Right. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. I think it's happening to Mahomes. It has been happening with Mahomes. I think it will happen with Mahomes in the future.
Yeah.
But 265K and a little bit of change for the gold prism Mahomes. Thoughts?
This was my favorite card of the whole auction, even though I didn't win it.
Why?
There's a lot. It speaks exactly to what we were talking about of the Max, where if only they were willing, because I thought initially like, okay, maybe they're just like the way they do the patch windows, like, they're always doing it oriented to the direction of the uniform. But this one somebody clearly put thought when they windowed this.
Yep. I agree. It's very satisfying how there's almost, the patch centering is on a perfect 10.
Yeah, it literally like
off.
Yeah, there's no amount of like odds that like, yeah, it's literally a millimeter of tolerance to get that whole thing in. So it's kind of like a match made in heaven in a way. Yeah, and plus like Alonso's, is a great driver, like a great kind of history. And so it's not like he's a bad driver either. And so 12 seems kind of low, because it kind of reminds me of this feeling I have that at some point, just like in basketball, when the market decided that finally, oh yeah, like Wilton Russell, rest in peace, like are actually collectible people, or like Pete Maravich, and people are starting to look for those really vintage rookie cards. Like these drivers, like these kind of former champions of the sport get like no love yet in F1, even though they're definitely champions in a way, right? Like they're just as much champions as Max is currently, even though people think that Max can win another like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's kind of just betting on the hype again, right?
Correct.
Betting on the hype, kind of like forgetting the past. And like when someone else, probably a little bit less likely for F1, but like when someone else comes around, that new person is going to be the flavor of the week or flavor of the month.
Yeah.
But this is, that's certainly a beautiful card.
Definitely.
Let's go to the. We can skip this one. You want to talk about this one?
The Holland. This one, did the Holland fall off? Like, this seems like
very
low.
high. Oh, very high. Low. I think it's very high.
Is it because it's signed, like, or
the sticker auto? I mean, this is his true rookie.
It's a sticker.
It's a sticker,
geez. Yeah. Okay. And a fuzz auto. Yeah.
Yeah, the auto is not. See, I think this auto, like on a bad day, would have gotten a 9 at PSA, right? But this auto got a 10. So like I feel like it's a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see. I don't really follow soccer that closely.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how the Holland market moves moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's going through that transfer to Man City, so like I'm sure people are kind of excited to see how he plays kind of in the bigger market. So we'll see.
Kobe Flawless.
Awesome patch. Oh, terrible auto. That
Terrible.
auto actually seems like that's gonna be a card porn like report.
Do you think it's the case, or do you think it's the actual auto?
I think the auto.
Do you think it's the auto?
Is what?
Like, do you
It
think?
looks forged.
Oh, you're talking about the quality, not like not like the white fading on the K, right?
Oh, the white fading on the K. I mean that too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it also just looks forged to me. Like, or he's having a very bad day.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm wondering if there's a play. It's like, oh, it doesn't look like his other Kobe auto, so therefore it's unique. There's only one copy. Like, I'm sure someone out there is saying that. All right.
Like, this reminds me of, did you see that thing? I remember seeing it on Cardporn like a couple weeks ago. There's a dual auto of two baseball prospects that neither of them signed.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
How did that happen again?
I don't know if they owned up to it, right?
They did own up to it. They said they were gonna do something. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do.
Oh,
that is embarrassing. Like,
yeah,
that is very yeah, that's pretty bad. Kobe Flawless, 3-color patch, beautiful card, horizontal. Second year, third year, second year.
Yeah,
I think second year Flawless, 13.2.
Yeah, I feel like for like what we're talking about, like, at what point is there going to be a breaking point, right? Like when the hobby's just like, you can't keep doing these like these like shady things and like fake signing and Walmart patching and all that kind of stuff before they change. Because yeah, I suppose the cold-blooded argument as to why this continues is that people will still buy and still rip, right? Even if things are terrible.
Yep. If the buyers keep buying, why go through the trouble of chasing after game used jerseys and getting the players to actually sign the cards, right? The bar just keeps on getting lower and lower. If the customers tolerate it.
Yeah.
7.5
Curries are awesome, but yeah, this one's definitely it's off center. Oh my god, the edges are in bad shape. But I mean, it's iconic though. It's ugly. I mean, it always reminds me of how much I know me and my friends hated these cards. Not the Curry one, but just all of these cards in general when they first came out. And now it's one of those kind of just like ugly history cards, meaning that it's like it's a reminder of the transfer of the license to Panini during this time, and just so coincided with Curry's entry into the league. And so and then the whole drama where Topps Chrome it wasn't even a product. You got to pull it as an insert from Topps. So
really?
So much history. I think it's a lot. I think this is a high price, but I still think that it's one of those things where it's the only. I think to myself this question all the time, which is like, what Curry card kind of has that like club vibe, the same way that like PMGs of like Jordan or Kobe or like the Jordan All-Star jersey is, like where people are like actively aware of who else owns these. And if it's not the NT, then it'd probably end up being this card.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably more so this card. Like the NT. How many copies of NT are there? Is it 199 or 99?
It's 90. So it's not 99. So, well, if you add them all up, then there's like the 99 base, 25 gold, 5 flat. So then it would be 129.
129.
Oh, no, it'd be 130 if you technically count the logo man.
Oh, true. 130 versus 50.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's no Warriors jersey in this photo? Does it have to do with the transfer license?
Yeah, so this is the thing that always confused me, is why there's a Warrior logo on the bottom right. Because my understanding when the card first came out was that like, yeah, they just lost the license, so they can't. But I guess maybe the team logos and uniforms are two different IPs.
Yeah, because like you look at like other rookies from that year, right? Like James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, like they're all t-shirt photos too. There's
Yeah.
not a single jersey photo.
Yeah.
It's like if there was a jersey, that would make the card be a lot more cool. But overall,
definitely.
Pretty strong price. I remember like this card used to be like very, very tough to find. Now it's popping up like, I saw one at the National, I saw one here. There seems to be like one that pops up like every month or two now. So
yeah,
I don't know what that says about the market, but that's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
All right. This one I just want to talk about because I thought it ended very, very low. I saw it and I almost had a mini heart attack. Like I think it sold for probably 10K underpriced. I mean, it's Kobe's last year gold prism.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful card. I think 2019.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if I had been watching the auction, I definitely would have bought this one. This was let's see if it even went into extending. Oh, it did. I guess it did go into extended, but yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, very, very fitting. The Kobe's and gold matches are amazing.
Yeah. Let's talk about this one. I guess we're running short on time, so let's do
very high. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's first of all, what are your thoughts on black gold?
I hate it.
It's so ugly.
It's so fugly. Yeah, it's truly fugly. It's like it doesn't deserve, like, if you made black gold out of 10 and then gold out of 5, that would make more sense to me, because it feels like the solid gold is more like, it feels to me more precious. But I get what you're trying to do. Yeah, it's like, oh, the black is 1 and 10 you're divided by 2. Like, that's fine, but yeah, not great. Not great like from a appeal standpoint, like eye appeal standpoint.
I think this did about 40K more than the last gold that sold. 20 or 30K more than the last gold that sold. That's pretty crazy. I wonder if we'll be seeing on an alt auction soon. That's what I wonder for all of these cards.
Yeah.
That's very, very high.
This one's, I mean, it's a great patch. 10-10, can't complain about that. Great auto. Yeah, and kind of the timing is right. I mean, people are trying to, was just such a great card for the flip at the moment,
Yeah, I think it's a great buy. Good job to whoever picked this one up. Man.
This card, incredible beauty. Like, I mean, seeing it in person, big honor. Yeah.
Yeah, what a beautiful card.
Yeah.
If there were no difference in value, would for this one the platinum portraits? Because they're visually like pretty similar, right?
Yeah. I think this one speaks to, I mean, I think the Jordans, like the color part pops a little bit better in this gold variation. And the industry always loves gold no matter what, like for everything. And I would say, like, I would say it never ceases to be underrated how most card inserts, the technology used to make the card has appeared elsewhere in other cards before, like later on, like whether it's embossed or die cut or refractored. But like the dot matrix, I literally don't think I've ever seen it ever again in another kind of card insert.
I wonder how they do it. Maybe it's like a template or something. It's like something, and they spray paint on it or whatever. And that's beautiful.
Because the ROI of that, like thinking from a nerd business standpoint, must be so low, because you probably need a completely new specific machine just to do that. Just to do like a run of maybe like 500 cards total,
Yeah. And especially like if you want them to be like rare and like coveted, right? Like, you can't print too many. But that is, I really like this card. There's also the base one, right? It's not base one, but like it's also, I think it's on 250.
Yeah.
It's still a very expensive card.
Yeah, and also this is one of those things where it's like the platinum is the platinum portrait, and then somehow the gold is the pair. Is always kind of an interesting thing to me, since technically we're supposed to, rank platinum above gold. But that goes to my other pet peeve about platinum, which is it basically looks like silver.
Basically, so
But that's
yeah,
not a card gripe. That's a precious metal gripe.
precious metal. Come again. You are one of the most recognizable personalities in the world. A man who can do it all himself, but knows the value of a team game. So much class and so much game. Michael, keep coming back again and again and again. What does that even mean?
Yeah, the last one doesn't sound like a statement. It sounds like a request. Like it's talking to Michael. Oh, you are one of the most. It is. Oh, the whole paragraph is written to him. That's so interesting.
Oh, that is very cool, actually.
Like you almost never see that. It's like a little love letter to him.
Yeah, I wonder what the other cards say. That's other cards in the set say, but that's really really cool. You never see that level of customizability anymore.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, this is Panini would never spend effort to write 2 sentences.
I also love how you can see the numbering of the card both on the front and the back. 5 of 40.
Yeah.
Usually when they say 5 of 40, it means like it's the 5th card in the set.
Yeah.
Right. Rather than like the exact copy in the print run. But
yeah,
this is really cool because it's actually number 5 out of 40 prints of this card.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, I'll buy one of these one day.
Definitely one of the dream cards. Yeah, that's another one where I feel like at some point you're gonna see like set collectors probably all over trying to catch the whole thing.
Yep. I really like this card. It's a base card.
Yeah.
But it's just such a tough grade. I mean, like look at the corners, right? Like
yeah,
pristine corners. The shadow. The word hardware.
Yeah.
What a beautiful card.
Yeah, it definitely exemplifies the metal branding, like everything about it like screams this very kind of sturdy and kind of industrial, look.
A striking photo negative copy of the card front action images comprise the background. Okay, so I guess you would call this thing a negative.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they had like image editing software back then that could like do these things.
Yeah. I think
90s,
that's the other interesting documentary to be created, or a card porn, or like a trove thing about like how did graphic artists make these graphics pre Photoshop.
Yeah. Interesting.
Another gold. Not my favorite picture, but it is a legit Kobe Prism Gold.
You want to guess how much the seller initially wanted when it was unsurfaced last year?
How much he wanted it raw?
Mm-hmm.
Like 150?
About $1 million.
What? Oh my god!
It was part of a very big Kobe find in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Probably in early 2021.
Jeez.
Yeah. What a beautiful card, though. I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that 150K was a steal because like this card, it's like very hard to value. It's like a very volatile card.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like the purple and gold. I think the last LeBron sale did like probably like 800.
Yeah.
So I think it seems good. I don't think I wouldn't personally buy it because I think dropping 150K on any Prism is a ton of money. But this
definitely
is a nice card. Otani Red. We can skip that one. Let's talk about this one as our last card.
The Jambalaya.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think quite amazing. I think there's still too much obsession with the exquisite RPA and the chromes. There are all these very interesting LeBron rookie year cards, whether it's the credentials that like in Kobe's era, right? If you look at his cards, like get tons of love. But these on a relative basis, like outside of the Topps Chrome and the exquisite RPA, like doesn't seem to get nearly as much love.
Yeah, I mean the print run on these is like, probably in the range of like, I would say 50 max, maybe like 30 to 40 to 50, right?
Yeah.
And design. I mean, like I'm not the biggest fan of like his stance in this photo.
Yeah.
It is very symmetrical, which I like.
Yeah.
Like half of him is like in one side, half
Yeah.
in the other. But yeah, I think the Jambalaya is really a underrated set. I think I was talking with a friend about this, and we both agreed that 60 seemed very low. I think it's
Yeah,
like
because I mean, you can even tell by looking at the back. It's just like the odds that the black border on the back is preserved is impossible.
correct. And I
'Cause
don't. Yeah, sorry, continue.
yeah, just I can imagine just pulling this card out of the pack, like you will damage it instantaneously.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I also don't think this card would get a PSA 10 today, but that's a conversation for a different store. Conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Just look at this, man.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the word Jambalaya.
yeah,
This is like the photo from draft day, right?
yeah,
The one on 03 tops. That's really, really cool. I
yeah.
also like how it's predictive. It says he will be a dunker extraordinaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was. He did become one, right? So
Yeah,
kind of see this on a card before he was proven. I
Yep.
think is really, really cool. It's almost like a
Yeah.
prophecy. But yeah, 2003 Fleer, Braun, Jambalaya. I feel like part of the reason why this, especially 03, doesn't get enough love is because Jordan's not in it. I think that's probably half of the reason.
Got it.
People really like 97 and 06.
Yeah. Well, I also must say that, like, I mean, this is probably speaking to my own childhood. It's just like something about the green jambalayas really, really appeal to me broadly.
Yeah, I do think the greens, they pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why they changed the. I wonder if they designed it with LeBron in mind. So like, okay, like, he's wearing the
Yeah,
red
I think
jersey.
that's it. It's trying to go
that's
in for the color match. Yeah.
Trying to go for the color match. Yeah, what do you have picked red? Or do you have picked red and blue, or do you have picked something else?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm asking you, like, what do you have picked?
Oh, I would pick red.
You have picked just pure red.
Intuitively, yeah.
Yeah. Cool card.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these always look better in person because of the lenticular, like the 3D-ness in the back. Yeah, definitely. These are amazing cards to see in person.
Yeah, it's like almost like the what is it? Like the kind of texture where it's like you tilt it and it like shows different angles. It almost it's like kind of that texture for those of you guys who haven't held one in hand before. Beautiful, beautiful card.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're running close on time. Yeah, I feel like this golden auction had a lot of content, a lot of interesting things to talk about on both ends of the spectrum, high price, low prices, as well as old versus new. So yeah, we'll just call it. We'll just call it right there. Gary, any additional comments or any if people want to find you, they see cards that you're interested in, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, you can hit me up on Twitter at GM_times, TIMES, or Instagram, Gary.Mao. I need to get my cards up one of these days, but but definitely, let's connect. And we didn't really talk about the triple logo mans, but they both went pretty low, so that's quite good buys to whoever won either of them. There's no way in hell the Jordan, Kobe, LeBron should be going for lower than a triple LeBron. I'm sorry, but yes, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, let's actually spend another minute talking about that. So 1.6 million for the Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, 400K for the 400K for the Warriors logo man, triple logo man. That's crazy.
I'm just hopeful the Warriors one. I hope a Bay Area person won it. The other one, I'm sure that card may come back up to auction for higher in another bull market day.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
social media's been going crazy about those two cards. We will see. We'll see what happens. But it's been a pleasure having you on today, Gary.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Talk soon.